Authenticity is the only purpose. I've had a lot of different ideas throughout my life for how to conceptualize what it is that I've always wanted. And the thing that it consistently boils down to is authenticity. And I'm sure that that resonates with you if you found this video. We all just want to be ourselves. And we know what it's like to spend time wishing that we were somebody else, or that at least we had someone else's physical attributes or mental attributes, etc. But what we really want is the freedom and the confidence to be ourselves. But authenticity isn't just this thing that is important for self-improvement or artistry. It's deeper than that. What I believe is that energy exists in the cosmos in the form of a godlike mind, formless and everywhere all at once. And when you're everywhere all at once, you are not present. I'm sure you also know what it's like to ruminate, to be constantly running over either the past that you regret or the future that you're scared of. And this tension and this dissonance exists in your body, trying to get you to pay attention to the fact that you're not here. You're here, but you're not here. And so in this presence, you learn what it means to be yourself. And in all of my time reflecting on the meaning of life and the universe, and it's not that I have it all figured out, but I'm feeling like I have it figured out for me more and more every day. And I've noticed a lot of patterns. And so speaking of the mind, when you're not anywhere, you're just everywhere, and you're not a thing, how nice it must be to be in one place at one time as one thing. And so if that's the point, then we're all here as authentic beings, as individuals, experiencing reality through a unique lens. Everyone has their own fingerprint. No two snowflakes are the same. You get the idea. Authenticity seems to be one of the fundamental reasons for reality. So, if authenticity is the only purpose for life, then we should probably spend our time exploring how to make the world a place that facilitates and embraces and celebrates authenticity. Now, there are movements, social movements, political movements, artistic movements, they're all intertwined, that are focused on this idea of authenticity. And everyone presents it in a different way, as do I. But the reason why I'm so fascinated by boiling it down to something so simple and precise is because I believe it can help unify people. And that's exactly what we need, by the way. If you haven't seen my first video, Empathy is the Only Path, then I suggest you watch that after this. But in order for us to all live our lives to the fullest, we need to do our best to make that possible for everybody. And we all have a different part to play in this. That's the whole point of authenticity, is when you think about your purpose and you think about the life that you want, if you're being honest with yourself and you're not just convincing yourself that you desire these things that other people have told you you should desire. And this takes time, but as you really learn to hone in on exactly what you want and why, you realize that your path, your journey, is unique. It's very unique. Now, the patterns for creating your dream life are pretty universal. They can be studied across many different fields and people's stories, people who have changed their lives. You can see it. There's patterns, but the details are very personal. Authenticity is so important, and there are certain people that are trying to rule the world and making everyone suffer for it, who are making it really damn hard for people to be authentic. And in fact, they are actively attacking and opposing the existence of authenticity, because if everyone is living authentically, that means that these warmongers are going to have to do the same. And I don't think that any human being at the deepest level wants to live in a world of war and destruction and suffering. Nobody wants to suffer. And that's the funny thing, is all of these really big external examples of suffering, I think, are reflections of how we all suffer internally when we do not allow ourselves to be authentic. I don't want to live in a world where I can't be myself. Growing up, there were many times where I felt attacked for being who I was. And those attacks, whether it was from the high demand religion that I grew up in, or from the ways that I was treated in school, ultimately those things did threaten my authenticity, and I did recede at times. But I never fully let go, because I couldn't. And if you are an artist, or if you identify as queer, or if you have, like me, said no to a high demand religion that you were born into because you realized that it was stifling your authenticity, then you know, and you have lived experience with how important it is to be yourself. We have to work together to practice celebrating our authenticity. And I think that that also means paying attention to what is authentic and what is an excuse for behavior that lacks empathy. For instance, some people go about their life treating others with the utmost disrespect, and then they play the card of, oh, that's just who I am, I'm just blunt, or insert whatever sort of card that I'm sure someone has played on you. Humanity at its core is empathetic and beautiful and expressive. And whenever someone's behavior does not reflect that, instead it reflects destruction or manipulation or some sort of thing that lacks empathy, then that is an indicator that they're actually not being authentic, that that's not who you really are. That's conditioning. That is you choosing to run from your shadow instead of dive in and explore it. People that understand authenticity, which I'd be willing to bet if you're watching this video, at some level, you understand how important it is. You have chosen to go through something that has almost forced you to fight for your authenticity. And what that means is diving deep into your psyche and your soul and figuring out what is me and what is not me. What feels like a resonant, almost eternal part of me, and what is conditioning, what was placed here without my consent, or what was I conditioned to believe. I was conditioned to believe in a world that is ending. I refuse to believe that. I refuse to believe that the earth is better off without humans. I refuse to believe that we are inherently evil. I refuse to believe that our time is up. I believe that we are on the verge of really understanding and embodying our purpose as a species, which I believe is to create life, and not just in the baby way. That's archaic. Not everyone's meant to have children. There's a lot of people that shouldn't. But instead, life is a spectrum. Life is intrigue. It's beautiful. It's beauty. It's nuance. And we can create all of these things, whether it is through children or whether it is through art or new experiences. There is something special that we all know lives within us, and just in this experience. And that potential is limited by the society that we currently live in, a society that you and I did not ask for. The only reason why we're here in the first place, I believe, is authenticity. It's the only reason why we experience an individualized ego. And I don't feel like I can be fully authentic when I am trapped within the confines of scarcity or hate or fear or any number of these things that a few evil people that want to rule the world have imposed on everybody else. Don't buy into their lie. The world is not ending. There is a lot of good happening. And the more that we focus on the good, the more energy and attention that we pour into that, the more effort that we place into movements, revolutions that are actively creating the space for authenticity, the faster we'll be able to live in a reality where that is true for everybody. Everybody that chooses it. This channel is one of those places. So if any of this resonates with you, welcome home. Welcome to CLUB.AURA. And by the way, I didn't even introduce myself in the first video. My name is Nolan Void. I am also an electronic and ambient artist. So if you want to check out my music, then I'll plug my channel, my other channel soon. But thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. And I would love to know your thoughts, all the good stuff in the comments. The previous video was about empathy. And of course, this one's about authenticity. And there's one more thing that I think is core to who I am, what I believe, and what CLUB.AURA is about. And that is presence. So you can click here to watch that video. Thanks again. Peace and love.